Hello again and welcome back to another one, and today we have a couple of topics to cover as we got to hear from West Coast legend MC Eiht, who recently shared his thoughts on when Dr. Dre said this about Eminem.
I think he's the best MC ever. Point blank period. Of course there are going to be arguments about that because he's a white guy.
And he also took some time to break down the genius of rappers like Eminem and Kendrick Lamar, and also what separates them from most rappers, the difference between just vibing to the music and also taking some time to listen to what the artist is actually talking about, processing the lyrics and all. And we'll expand on this in a moment and also explore how hip-hop fans are taking it so far. Today we also have more from the game, and at this point you could argue that the game is obsessed with getting dragged on social media, seeing as whenever something positive comes along for the game, you might as well start the stopwatch and brace yourself for that incoming cringe. And we got more from the game today, which we'll explore at the latter part of the video. And today we also have more on Kanye West, who has decided to choose a strange release strategy for his latest album Vultures 2 that could set a dangerous precedent in the music business, a practice that's destroying the video game industry, that's left customers traumatized for years, and we'll expand on this in a bit. So starting with Eminem, it is quite the turnaround this time compared to the release period of Music to Be Murdered By when it comes to the overall promo and buzz surrounding the death of Slim Shady. As a few hours ago, Eminem nabbed a total of 6 nominations for the MTV VMAs, and in the year 2024, we got Eminem battling acts like SZA, Sabrina Carpenter, Bad Bunny, and Taylor Swift for Artist of the Year. Eminem's Houdini also earned nominations for Video of the Year, Best Hip Hop, Best Direction, Best Editing, and Best Visual Effects. And over 25 years into his career, check out this report. Eminem has been nominated for VMA's Artist of the Year award for the first time in his career. He is already the rapper with the most VMA wins in history, and some are shocked by this. Wait, I'm lost. How can he have the most VMA wins in history, but this is the first time he's being nominated for a VMA in his career? Well, this is about the category of Artist of the Year, and it would be interesting to see how this plays out in 2024 when it comes to award shows, especially the Grammys. And it is hilarious how everyone loves to pretend like they don't know why a certain thing hasn't happened yet. Check this out. Eminem extends his record for most Video of the Year nominations in VMA's history. Eiht, the rap legend, has yet to receive the Michael Jackson Vanguard Award. And moving on, Kanye's new album Vultures 2 opened to mostly mixed reviews from fans, and one of the major complaints was that it felt unfinished. As social media is filled with takes like, "I say this as someone who thoroughly enjoyed Vultures and still has it in his top 10 of the year. What the F is Vultures 2? Not only does it sound unfinished, but also incredibly uninspired." And more on this note, Vultures 2 had potential to be good. Half the album is unfinished and mixed horribly. It is so disappointing to say this about a Kanye album, considering how much of a perfectionist he used to be. However, similar to what has been going on in the video game industry, when developers release unfinished games and then use patch updates to fix the games post-release, Kanye decided to do the same in the music industry. Check this out from Yeezy's chief of staff that dropped a few hours ago. 6 songs updated on Vultures 2, live on all DSPs. Go run it up, we have more surprises on the way. And this is a wild trend for Kanye to start, as a while back it was Beyonce and Lizzo editing lyrics post-release due to outrage, and now we got Kanye doing patch updates for music post-release, and takes like this blew up on social media in response to this. Kanye's strategy of releasing an unfinished album and updating tracks over days might excite his superfans, but it is terrible practice for most artists and costly. First impressions matter. releasing a finished album shows respect for your audience. Don't follow his lead. But some users, of course, missed the point with responses like, he has earned the grace to release however he wants. 8 classic albums does that for you.
Wait. What?
And it is no wonder some have concluded modern Kanye fans are like male Swifties at this point. You can't sit there with a straight face and tell me this dude hasn't lost it. Vultures 2 is awful, unfinished or not. Been a Ye fan for well over a decade. I won't force myself to like this album like y'all MFers. And personally, I'm still in shock that fans are defending the strategy of using, quote, software updates to fix an unfinished album post-release, because he's got, quote, 8 classic albums. And according to early projections, off streaming alone, Kanye is set to move between 38 to 46,000 units first week in the United States. And we could have a battle on our hands, as Taylor Swift reportedly released a new digital version of her album. Suffice to say, Kanye's active #1 streak may be in jeopardy right now, so be on the lookout for the weekend. Things could get spicy on the web. And moving on, West Coast legend MC Eiht was recently on Vlad TV, and he was asked about Dr. Dre's comments about Eminem being the greatest rapper of all time. And he pretty much broke down why Dr. Dre is more qualified to hold such an opinion, seeing as Dr. Dre has worked with some of the most iconic artists of all time. Check out a snippet.
When Dre said Eminem is the greatest rapper of all time, the argument is, well, that's his artist. Of course he's going to say that. He's had lots of artists. I feel like that was his honest answer.
Yeah, because to him, he's different. Not to say that Cube and Kendrick or whoever were on the same pattern, but
Snoop, another one.
You've seen that.
He's got a bunch of artists that turn into mega icons.
You got it you got a team of stars and shit, but there's only one Michael Jordan. To him, in his opinion of, I've worked with niggas from this color to that color, from singing to rapping to jazz, and in my opinion, he's the greatest artist that I've come across because he's able to do something I haven't seen anyone else do as far as what he creates.
But he had more to add, as he took some time to also explain what separates rappers like Eminem and Kendrick from other rappers. And it is quite hilarious because it takes a dig at the narrative that they don't play Eminem in the club. Check out snippets from Vlad TV.
Hi, my name is... He played the beat and suddenly Eminem just came up with that whole thing right there.
I thought that was real crafty. I used to bang the shit out of Hi, my name is.
And
it was crafty than just doing something typical like a Ice Ice Baby or something that they would expect a white artist to do. You feel me? So for him to be able to come with that depression and that expression about life and what he felt about it, it just was able to captivate a different audience. And that's
what it is.
That's sort of like Kendrick now, you know. He's able to take situations that we wouldn't necessarily even talk about. But because his mind is different and he knows how to articulate shit, he says different things that you still can go, damn, that was clever as fuck. Because he talking about something as simple as what I do all day. Oh, those are different dudes, man. Those are different dudes, and you can't put nothing past them. Eminem, Kendrick, you have to give them their own lane. I don't even consider them Eminem ain't no rapper. He's past the idea of me putting a CD in my car, rolling down the street, bumping. He's a motherfucker that I'm gonna have to pull over and listen to what he's saying. That's how you look at Eminem. That's how you look at Kendrick.
And we got some classic responses to this interview, as once again, we got a reminder. I'm from Detroit.
Oh shit, here we go again.
And Eminem definitely one of my favorite rappers, but even back then, I never considered him the GOAT in the rap game. He definitely is a freestyle battle rapper though, and clearly some users are tired of this whole Detroit discussion. A user responds, "You're one person from one city. Dr. Dre is Dr. Dre. succinctly broken down. And moving on, the game looks to be begging to get dragged these days, as while he recently revealed some positive news that he's expecting a child on the Tacos and Shawarma podcast.
And then I heard you're expecting kids, twins.
Twins is, yeah, you got to stay off the internet.
Right.
Yeah, I'm expecting one child.
One child.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that?
I think about it in terms of like years, right? Like I'm 44, so when my new child is 21, I'll be 65, right?
Right.
And that seems kind of old until you start thinking about who's 65 now, right? And so when I think about that, I think that like, I don't know how old like Mariah Carey is, but she has to be like 10 years older than me, or Jay-Z or something like that. They got to be almost like, their next big birthday is probably 60. They're still out here looking young and looking cool. So it ain't that bad. But I think at the end of the day, it's new life. It's going to be a different parenting experience for when I was younger. So when I was younger, I was still hard-headed in the streets, and like I don't know how I even made it to this point in my life doing the things that I was doing, but I made it. My kids are all fine, smart, straight A students and good, and so it'll just be interesting to parent at this age.
Game couldn't help himself just hours later as he took to IG stories to share this. Any dude that smoke hookah in 2024 can jump up and land in the splits. And this was Game pretty much asking everyone on the web to drag him based on his history, and users didn't hold back. Wasn't that dude a stripper? Loudly crying emojis. And it didn't take long for them to pull up a "this you" on the Game, but perhaps he's telling us that he can jump up and land in the splits, perhaps speaking about himself. And seeing as his new boss, Drake, has been posting pictures after pictures on IG stories all year with a hookah in hand, some have expanded the Game the only dude to stand up for Drake and diss him in the same year, loudly crying and laughing emojis. And Game's been getting stir-fried in the shade room. I'll take a hookah over a SA case shrugs emoji.
Damn!
And more, you have a nose piercing. And thanks to the corniness from Game in interviews and also on social media, even a new album announcement from the Game couldn't stop the roasting session. As in response to Game revealing that he's working on the documentary 3, it still sparked reactions like, let's see who he's gonna fake beef with this time around to sell 15,000 in album sales. And more, he'll need the Drake stimulus package to get over 15,000 the first week. But over to you guys, share your thoughts in the comment section, and are you excited for Game's The Documentary 3? As even those who got Game in their top 5 are dropping takes like, he used to be a great rapper, can't believe he's still in my top 5 because of how stupid he has become.
Damn!